Assalamu alaikum, ladies and gentlemen. This is Dr. Mukhtar Ahmed with the Virtual University course Leadership and Team Management. Yet another course. If you remember, I did 3 courses for you. The first one was Human Resource Management. Then I did Marketing course, Principle of Marketing. And the last one was Organization Behavior. We'll be starting this new course, the Leadership and Team Management. Very exciting, interesting, and application-oriented course. This is a specialized advanced course, and I believe only those people will be taking this course which have already taken some management courses, the basic organization behavior courses, and human resource management courses. Today, I'll just start fixing the stage for you to start this new course. As I said earlier, this is an advanced and practical course, so I'm not going to recommend any textbook for this subject. What we'll do basically, we'll take few already taken the concept, the principles of management sciences, the business, and try to apply them in the real sense manner. And what I'll be expecting from you to have good background of basic management, the human resource management, the organization behavior, and similar other type of courses, so that we should understand this course in a better way. Ladies and gentlemen, today we'll set the stage for this subject, and inshallah in lecture number 2, I'm going to explain the methodology, the way we are going to take this subject. As the name indicates, leadership and team management. These are the buzzwords, these are the real words, and these are real things which are making a big difference in today's organization. So, let's start our today's session. As I said, I'll be trying to set the stage for you to take this applied course, advanced level course of business education or management science. So title of the course is Leadership and Team Management, and the course code is MGT 623. And I'm your instructor for this course, Dr. Mukhtar Ahmed. So I'll be starting our lecture number 1. As the title indicates, there are 2 words, leadership, and the second is the team. The both words are essential for each other. Without team, there is no leader. And then without leader, team cannot perform. So what I'll do basically, I'll split in beginning from the lecture number 2, these 2 parts, and I'll try to cover these both parts theoretically for you to make it clear what is this leadership concept, what is a leader, and what does we mean as a team, and how can we differentiate team from the group, and how this concept of leadership and team management is applicable in today's organizations. To understand this thing, we need to set a stage. And stage will be to understand what the organization is, and how they are working, and what is the integral part of these organizations. So our question should start from here. What is an organization? Concept of organization in changing world. And what about today's organization? Because they change. If you compare today's organization with a couple of decades back, those organizations, we can see an obvious difference. The way they are working, the way they are integration, the kind of priorities they have, that is totally different. Similarly, challenges. Challenges for what? Challenges for those people who are managing those organizations, who are working in those organizations. So we have to understand all those basic ingredients to understand what an organization is, how it is functioning, and then what kind of role a team or team leader or leadership play in those organizations, and how can they have any positive or negative effect in this efficiency or effectiveness of any organization. So what is an organization? As I said, you are in the advanced level of courses. You have already taken the basic management course, the organization behavior course, and other related basic management or business courses. So you must be familiar what is an organization. An organization is a set of people, a deliberate arrangement of people to accomplish some specific goals that an individual cannot another way achieve. And of course, there are not only people, there are some other things too. And what are the characteristics of an organization? They have a purpose, a specific reason of their existence. Number two, they are composed of people. And number three, they have deliberate structure in it. And of course, there is some kind of technology and other things involved. The function of each organization is specific. A hospital is an organization. Their function is specific. A university, a teaching institution, they are also organization. Their functions are specific. If industry is also a type of organization, but their functions are specific. Similarly, other type of organizations, some can be for profit, some organization can be for non-for-profit things. So we have to understand that what those organizations are supposed to do and what kind of role these people, the important component ingredients they are playing there. So, if you recall this slide, I have shown you already when I discussed with you the human resource management, I believe, and organization behavior too, that organizations are composed of people. It's a social entity. They are goal-oriented, deliberately structured. And of course, they are linked with external environment. They're not working in isolation. All those macro and micro factors, external environment factors, they affect on their performance, their functioning. So we cannot see these are like machines that you just fix basic ingredients and you can get desirable results, because all those organizations are exposed to their external environments. An external environment can have different forces which can affect their performance. I don't want to go in that type of detail because these are basic things which you have already covered, I believe. So these are social entities. They are goal-oriented. They have specific purpose. They are deliberately structured. They are linked with the external environment. So these are the characteristics of any organizations. Again, to emphasize again, because I'm trying to narrow down on that particular point, are those particular components which are important to understand our subject of leadership and team management. So I'll focus on three things. Number one, they have distinct purpose, specific purpose. And there are people there. In each organization, of course, they might have different type of technologies, different type of equipment, different type of other things, the financial resources, other things. But they are the most important resources, the basic component, the people which can make one organization different from another organization. And they are structured. Different people have specific tasks. There are kind of groups involved. Few people are involved in the financial issues. Others are involved in the administrative issues. There are certain people who are doing the technical aspects. Take example of any institution. Take the example of universities. In university system, we have different type of organizational structure within the universities. We have the administration branch. We have examination section. We have the registrar office. We have the faculties, different faculties, where teachers are responsible there. Then we have the labs, sports section, library section, and so on. And each section have the people there. The human resource, which is the key. The point I'm trying to make here is that key factor in any organization which can make the difference are the people. And that is how then I will take you from here to explain to you what kind of role this leadership is playing for the efficiency and effectiveness of any organization. And how this teamwork can make a difference in a big way. So remember that we are talking about an organization. Because within the organization, then we have the teams, then we have the leadership process, or the phenomena, and which is making the difference. And that is the title of our subject. So, let's go, again, as I said earlier, today we'll be just setting the stage. I'll take you back to those subjects, those topics which you have already covered in different subjects, so that we can again start with a clear mind. So in any organization, they have specific purpose, they have specific strategies. And then they have certain kind of resources there. Whenever we are talking about any organization, and when we are talking about the management of things, so what are we managing? We are managing different resources in the organization. As a manager, as a leader, and later on I'll explain what is different between a manager and a leader. Today we'll just start the basic things. So any organizational leader, any organization's manager, he or she is responsible to manage certain resources. What are those resources? You know that. Those resources can be financial resources. We call it capital here. The raw material, the equipment, the technical resources, the land, the intellectual properties, they have some kind of different thing they have figured out, or they have already designed certain things. The informations, and the most important, the people. So manager need to manage all those resources. Why they want to manage it? Those resources? Because they want to use all those resources in a way that they should get those common purpose fulfilled, or they should get the desired goal which they want to achieve from these resources. And who is going to be the better manager or the better leader? Those who can efficiently and effectively meet their goals, achieve their purpose, to achieve their goals. And of course, each organization has some certain functions. We say business function here because we are business students. We are here as a management student. There are certain business functions. What business function they are performing? They might be managing technology. They are supposed to do the marketing part too. Very important. They need to do the financial management. They need to perform operation management. They also need to do the human resource management, which is very, again, related to our subject, very important function. They need to change manage, because things are changing every day very fast. So that those organizations should be pruned, or they should be ready to make changes as the environment change, and so on. So, an organization have common purpose, they have some common specific strategies. All organizations, they have certain resources with them, and they perform certain business functions. And those can be marketing, those can be financial management, those can be technological management, human resource management, and so on. Any organization, as I said earlier, it is working in a dynamic environment. Organizations are not working in isolations. They are prone to certain macro or external environment factors. They can be technological, they can be economical, they can be geographical, they can be social, they can be cultural, and so on. So within that particular environment and specific environment, they need to have certain specific strategies to perform. And each organization have their own culture. If you recall, these topics we have covered in organization behavior, even if you have not taken my subject, still I will suggest, before we start this advanced level course of management science or business education, this team leadership and team management, you need to go through those basic concepts of organization behavior, the management sciences, so that those ideas, those few things which will be popping in during our discussion, they should be clear in your mind. So each organization, working in their specific culture, the value system, the norms in which where they are performing, they have their specific strategies. Within their specific structure, they are following specific processes, and they do have the people. Again, as I said, the basic, the important ingredient, the engine of any organization are the people. And they are linked. Again, people are not equipment. People are not machines. Even when you have the machines, to keep machine functioning, you need to keep them maintaining. You need to do the maintenance. You have to provide certain kind of lubricant, certain kind of things to keep that machine working. The same way, the people who are working in any organization, there should be some reward mechanism there, because nothing is free. So all these basic tools, they are, as I said earlier, we should be very clear, we are not doing anything in isolation. That we say, okay, keep one thing constant, and if you increase certain thing, you will get these results. So that is the theory part, of course. But in reality, all those things are interlinked. And when we'll be talking about the leadership, or team management, or team mechanism, team dynamism, we have to understand all those basic things which are interlinked, which are affecting their performance, which are affecting their delivery, efficiency, effectiveness. And we have to remember those things, that we are talking about real issues. In the real time, those macro factors, those environmental factors do affect the working of all those organizations and their components. Let's talk about the stakeholders of the organization. There are different types of stakeholders of any organizations. They can be customers, they can be social and political action groups, they can be competitors, they can be trade and industry associations, they can be government, media, suppliers, communities, shareholders, very important, their own unions, employees, and so on. Who are the stakeholders? Anybody, any organization which have one way or other way linked with that particular organization. It used to be that organizations were only responsible or concerned about their shareholders, people, organizations who have invested on them. But now they have realized that not only the shareholder, the stakeholders are also very important. And they play a very important role in their survival. So any organization, when they're working in any situation, they need to be very careful, very proactive when dealing with their stakeholders. Because they're also the major forces which can affect their performance, their survival. So as I said, there are a long list of stakeholders which can affect any organization. Now let's talk about the changing organizations. In the beginning I said that organizations are changing. And now the speed of change is fast. It used to be that in decades there were certain changes. Now even in months, in weeks time, you can see obvious changes in the environment, and naturally the organization do also change. Let's talk about traditional organizations. The traditional organization used to be stable. They have inflexible working environment, mainly focusing on job. Work was defined, and by job positions, of course. There was individual orientation, and the jobs were kind of permanent, and most of the organization was command-oriented. The people at the top, they were making all the decisions. And manager always make the decisions. It was top-down always. All those decisions are supposed to come from the top. Mostly rule-oriented, a kind of rigid organizations, relatively homogeneous workforce, people from the same location, similar type of people working in any organization, and the working time was defined, 8 to 4, 9 to 5 or whatever, and there was hierarchical relationship from bottom up, different hierarchies, they were having specific relationships. And then basically, they were the work at organizational facility during specific hours. It was mostly at the organizational facilities that work was being done. What about today's organization? Things have changed, as I said. They are now more dynamic. They are flexible. They are skill focused now instead of job focused. The work is defined in terms of tasks to be done, not only job by positions. It is more toward team oriented. temporary jobs, and of course employees participate in decision making. It is more management by objectives, participative management. Each unit are empowered to make certain decisions. They're not waiting for the top to make the decisions. Customer-oriented. Diverse workforce. As I said, again, this is a very exciting and very important concept in the management, the diversity at workplace. The diversity at workplace, rather. And of course, it has big advantages. So instead of homogeneous workforce, now they have the diverse workforce. The workdays have no time boundaries. It's flexible. And lateral and network relationships. It is not hierarchical. There is no hierarchy in the organization anymore. And again, the expansion is not vertical, it is more horizontal. And work anywhere, anytime. Now, positions are not any more important. As it used to be, that you were supposed to go to the organization's place and work there. Now it's the flex timing. And even the positions, especially due to this new technology, IT, information technology, things, now distance is meaningless. People work in different places. You're not even required to go and work at your workplace. You can do the same task at your home. You can do the same task at another place. So these are the basic changes, shift. Why should we worry? Yes, because now the expectations are different. The way organizations are working are different. So we also need to train. We also need to make the orientation of our employees, the people. As a manager, as a leader, we also understand these are the new things. We have to quickly adjust ourselves if we really want that our organization should be ahead of others. Few other changes. Do you agree with me that there are changes? Now you will look at your own, you're working, you're studying in the virtual university. It used to be that student was supposed to have the residency requirement. They were supposed to attend classes on certain time, for certain time period. Now you're sitting at your home and studying. You're doing job, still you are studying. This might be the night time, midnight. You are studying. At my time, it used to be from 8 to 2, 8 to 3. And that was the time where we were supposed to go and attend the classes in the colleges or universities. But look at today. The concept is changing. Not only the virtual university, now even the other universities. They are going for this distance education things. They are blending in the regular with the regular teaching processes because that has the benefits. Similarly, organizations are also changing. And the smart people, smart managers are those who quickly adjust themselves in this changing environment and taking their organization in the leading role. Let's talk about a few other changes we can see in today's organizations. The big way, the role of information technology, that is also have a very big way effect on organizational work. Now organizations are becoming more and more IT oriented. They're becoming the paperless organizations. The less and less paper involved now in their daily routine work. And also, different functions are being performed by now machines. So that is also a change, big change in the way. Similarly, the role of team, the people in the organization. It is not always now the top-down approach of decision making. It is basically now the management team who is making decision, not one-man show. We call it strategic management team. Similarly, the globalization effect is also affecting today's organization in a big way. Organizations are now going out of their boundaries. The world has become a global village now. Organizations are working in a different now territories. They have their operation in different locations. The way it used to be is different now, like we are seeing is today. Similarly, the partnership concept. They're making the pie bigger and bigger. So companies are merging now. They're making the pie bigger and bigger so that they should have the larger share. So this partnership concept is emerging. They want to utilize the resources of each other. Even the big companies, the larger organizations, they're merging. They're making the pie larger and larger to have the bigger share. They want to utilize the resources of each other. So this partnership concept is emerging. In today's organization, even they want to outsource to each other the things. Similarly, workforce, the work life, the quality of work life is very important nowadays. The organization, they're taking care of good care of their employees, and even people are concerned about the quality of work life in the organizations. So that is also another change. Diversification. As I said earlier, now we have diverse workforce in the organization. And diversity can be based on education, the gender, the religions, the age, and any demographic or geographic factors. Similarly, organizations are more concerned about the employment, their employees' development. Not only the employees, they are concerned about their development, even organizations, they are putting huge resources for the training and development of their organizations. And they need to do that. If they want to be at the top, if they want to sustain or maintain their position in the market, they need to heavily invest on their employees. They're people who are working in the organization. So that is something new in today's organization. Similarly, compensation. That is another issue. Now people, they do compare the equity part, that how much other organization is paying at my level, and how much I should be getting, what is my worth. So that is another change in today's organizations. Selection process. It used to be that when they were selecting the people in the organization, they were mainly looking toward knowledge, skills, and ability of the person. Now they are more concerned about the behavior aspect, whether that person can be a good team member or not. A person might be very good in technical and other aspect, but if he or she is not a good team member, the organizations, they don't take risk because they need a good team there. So that is another change we can see in today's organization. Similarly, decentralization, as I said earlier. It is not anymore the top-down decision making. Now the decision making has been decentralized to all those section level things, all those operation level, so that they should not wait for the decision. If they need to make some decision, they should immediately make the decision, so that they should not waste the time, and so on. So when we are discussing that what kind of changes we can see in today's organization, so we can go on and on and on and explain all those things. I'm just touching few of them so that you should get an idea that things are changing. So organization need to make some adjustment. The leaders, the managers, they need to make some adjustment. The people, the employees, they need to make some adjustment. And the potential people, the candidates who are working, who are studying, who are making themselves ready to work in the organization, that they should make all such type of adjustments. Again, talking about today's organizations, let me give you some other concern. The bottom line, that an organization, it concern mainly productivity, effectiveness, and efficiency. It used to be that the profit was the only objective. That is also still one of the main objectives. But now, the organizational performance is being judged by their productivity, their effectiveness, and efficiency. And the value creation is a very important notion of today's organization. What kind of values they are creating? The value addition, we call it. What is the extra? Because it's a synergical effect, basically. The input and output need to be an obvious difference there. You know what is synergical effect, right? Similarly, value is created when an organization's operations add value to the original cost of the resources input. And who is doing these things? Of course, technology is one important input, but mainly these are the people who make the difference. If you are adding 2 plus 2, but you're not expecting only that you should be getting 4. Now organizations, they are looking for 6, 7, 8. I'm talking about just numerical things. That the value addition. And that is the real efficiency and effectiveness of any organization. And when value creation occurs, naturally, the business will earn the profit. And non-profits, as I said earlier, that we are not only talking about the organization who are going for profit, there are certain organizations which are non-for-profit. Of course, they are also, when the value is created, their wealth in the society, the social impact is being there, so they are also satisfied that they have done some additional things. Now let's talk about some critical skills required in today's this new organizational setup. And these skills are, of course, for everybody. If they are worker, if they are middle management, if they are top management, if they are manager, if they are leader, or whatever. Number one, the quality, the excellence. Everybody is now talking about the excellence thing. You need to be excellent in whatever you're doing. No question there. It should be of quality thing. So number one, excellence. You are producing something, you are providing some service, you are the technical person, you are an administrative person, you are a clerical staff, you are a marketing person, you are an administrative person, whatever. Whatever you're doing, not less than excellence is expected from you, from your organization, from anybody. So number one, the critical skills which is required is whatever you are doing, whatever you are supposed to do in the organization, you should deliver in an excellent manner. At the top. Number two, the networking. For today's success, this networking is playing very important role. For any business, for any organization, this is another key to success. The networking, how strong you are. Any organization, if they have a very strong network within the environment, their success rate is higher side. Any individual, if he or she want to survive in today's society, in today's organization, they cannot stay isolated. They need to have strong network. So obviously, networking is another skill which is required in today's organization. The third one is entrepreneurship. An organization need to be entrepreneurial. A person need to be entrepreneurial. The new idea, the creativity. Nobody is expecting from anybody the routine thing. Each organization, they are expecting more than whatever you are supposed to do. To survive in today's organization, to survive in today's environment, whatever I am doing today, tomorrow's society, my boss, my colleague, they will be expecting more from me. And I need to be entrepreneurial. The same way, the organization also need to be entrepreneurial. The leader, the managers, they also need to be entrepreneurial. Similarly, we are depending on the technology, the new gadgets, the new tools. Every day we can see it. Especially this information technology in last decades, they have created miracle in the society. They have created miracle in the organizations. And we need to be at our toes. We need to be ready for any change. And again, technology has a cost. We also have to see ROI, return of investment. Return on investment, basically. Which technology do I need? And if I have to survive for tomorrow, I need to train, I need to equip myself for tomorrow's technology. Right? Similarly, marketing. This networking and marketing go side by side. You might have a wonderful idea. You might have a wonderful techniques. Your organization might be producing an excellent product. But if you are not good in marketing, so at the end of the day, you are not getting anything. Even in Pakistan, we can see most of the thing. We always are left behind because we are not good in the marketing. So we have to learn this marketing tool, the marketing concept. The organization need to do the right marketing. And we can see around, you can also see around yourself. You can have wonderful people. They need to market themselves. We can have wonderful people producing wonderful things, excellent products. But the missing piece is the marketing. So today is the critical skill which is required for the success of any person, any organization, is the marketing tool, the marketing concept. And the last but not the least, passion for change. And change is coming very fast nowadays. We need to be ready for change. If we'll not change, it will be history. Change as environment change, that is requirement. Organization need to change. Person need to change. Manager need to change. Sometimes system also need to change. So we need to have the passion for change. Another changes we can, again, because as I said earlier, I'll be talking about organization today because I need to set a stage for you to take from there for next 44 or so lectures. Make sure that you understand what is happening around. Belief in human capital. The most important component, the source any organization can have, are the people. And people make a big difference. Another change we can see is this command and control syndrome. Nobody believes on those things now. Because now people have more options. And they like environment, friendly environment there. This other the thumb philosophies are not anymore working. So we have to understand that today's organization, it is the respect, it is the freedom, it is understanding each other, and empathy, putting yourself in another person's shoes. That these are the ways you can manage people. You can make them as a team. And it is more toward teamwork now. It is not anymore the bureaucratic approach. It is the teamwork which makes the difference. And even if they are the weak, or they are not technically so sound, if they are a cohesive team, still they can make a big difference. Using the proper technology, again, the networking phenomena, a new workforce, these expectations, quality of work life, and speed, these are the new buzzword of today's organizations. And you, I, and we all have to understand these things. And we have to accept them. If really we want to be a successful organization, we need to understand these things. And unless we do those things, or we change as per the requirement, very soon will be history. Very soon that particular organization will be history. Because it is the speed which matter. It is the networking which are giving you strength. It is the teamwork. It is the participative management. It is not stick anymore working. It is not anymore the carrot and stick which used to be a system of managing things. Of course, you can make you can say that, of course, still few things are working, but we're talking about general things, generic things. Now it is a system approach which can make an organization different from another organization. So this competitive environment, this global economy, this globalization has created big opportunities. Not only big opportunities, but uncertainties too for organizations, for people. So this competitive environment is putting a lot of pressure on organizations. It's a double-edged sword there, you can say. You have the opportunity, big opportunities, but same time, you have certain threats too, uncertainties too. So you need to make yourself smart. So smart people and smart organizations creates their own future. And companies with the futures are committed to people. And who create that future? The people. An organization who have their future, it is because of their people working with them. And companies with the future have high performance expectations. They're not only expecting high performance from their people, but they are also making sure that they provide proper support and good environment to their people so that they should perform. Right? So companies with the future have high performance expectations and provide supporting work environment to their employees. And high performing companies, they get extraordinary performance from their people because they're providing them the extraordinary environment too. Same time. It goes simultaneous, side by side. You cannot just expect your employees to work extraordinary, but you don't provide them the environment. Unless you provide them the environment, proper environment, then you can expect better performance from them. What is the role of management in this case? Who is the management? The people, the leader. The high-performing manager, they build a working relationship with others. Not only they build the relationship, but they also help others to develop their skills and performance competence. Right? As I said earlier, today's organization, they heavily invest on the development, the training of their workers. To good management also, they provide facilitation, they help that their employees their workers should learn the skills. They always facilitate to make a team within the organization, that they believe on teamwork basically. And they create a work environment that is performance driven. And they provide satisfaction to their worker through proper environment, through proper compensation, through proper recognition, and giving them the ownership. The organization citizenship concept I always speak, right? You have to remember that as a management, as a manager, as a leader, that each individual is a value-added worker for organization. Very important component of that whole machine. A manager's job is to support workers' effort, whatever they are supposed to do. The best manager is known as for their helping and supporting. He is always caring, or she is always supportive. So it is ups and downs. You don't have to take care of the top people. Rather, you need to take care of the bottom people, because they are the real people who are making your life easy, who's making that organization a successful organization, who's bringing more profit, who are making value addition things in the organization. Now, similarly, the competency which are required at the managerial level is number one, communication. I can just go with speed because now I believe there's few minutes left for today's lecture. So we'll talk about these things again. The communication, the teamwork, the self-management things, the leadership, the critical thinking, the professionalism, the crisis management, and global management skill. These are the few of those so many things which are expected to be the skills which a manager or leader should have for a proper management of the organizations. And what about the innovations? The importance of innovation and change. We have to understand that unless we go for creativity and innovation, it's a continued process. We cannot sustain. Organization cannot survive. And there's a quotation that even if you are on the right track, you will get run over if you just sit there. Even if you are at the right track, if you just sit there, people can cross you, you will be run over. So you need to be moving. So that is the innovation which most of the organizations are required to keep in their mind, and that is the responsibility of the top management and leader. I think I need to stop it here. So let's talk quickly what we have covered today. Today was our first lecture of this subject, leadership and team management. I've not discussed anything about leadership or team management. I've just started setting the stage for you about the organization. What is organization? What are those characteristics or component of organizations? And which is the important part, the people? So what I will do now, for next lecture, I'll talk about people more. The bottom line. The organization need to focus on people. And then I will talk also about this subject which we are going to cover in next 44 or so lectures, the leadership and team management. I'll discuss with you the approach which I'll be taking in this subject and few other things. If you have any concern or comments, please do let me know. Send me email. But remember this is not going to be the typical book thing that you have a textbook and you have to just complete few chapters. This is going to be more as applied side. Of course, 50% of this will be a theoretical part too. I have to explain all those theoretical aspects of leadership and team dynamicism. But same time, I'll be more concerned about the application of these things. Just to give the emphasis that why it is important and how it is going to help us to build good organizations, to build profitable organization. I hope today's lecture was a good start point, a good starter. And inshallah, we'll work together to build this very important applied advanced course, leadership and team management. Take care of yourself. Allah Hafiz.